All right, hello CUNA. I'm going to be reviewing the May 28th Ada County Commissioners Open Business Meeting. So this one, actually, I looked at the agenda and there was one denial right here. Let's see if you can pull that up here. So this should be more interesting than normal. It's not very often that you see denials. Typically it's approved. So let's see if we can go with the discussions. Now, unusually, you have, I think it's Commissioner Beck missing. Usually, usually he's there. So I don't know. That's nothing significant. Maybe he comes up later. Does he come up later? All right, so it's just their 2 votes. Interesting. That adds an extra thing. So what was denied? Boise Black Rifle Range Day at the Double Tap, which is the gun range is like it's like southeast Ada County, out in the middle of deserts, like beyond Meta Center, out in the middle of nowhere. And it looks like they were not recommended for approval and they were denied. So yeah, you know what? Let's just jump right there because I saw that. Here it is. Okay, so let's hear it.
The Tower Grill at Double Tap Lane for Black Rifle Range Day, June 8th from 3:30 to 7.
That's correct. So that was at their request. It's not us finding something wrong with their...
Okay. All right, here it is.
Now a policy regarding the waiver of landfill disposal fees. All right, that's the end of the public hearings. We'll now move on to licenses. Catering permits, license transfers, and license renewals.
Mr. Chairman.
Yes.
On the first one in particular, I just want to make sure it's not recommended for approval. And that is at the request of the gun range where this event is happening. They didn't want to mix alcohol with guns.
So it's Tower Grill at Double Tap Lane for Black.
So that's pretty interesting. The actual gun range is requesting it to be denied. So, oh, the Tower Grill wanted to serve alcohol there? I mean, I don't know what's going on.
Rifle Range Day, June 8th from 3:30 to 7.
That's correct. So that was at their request. It's not us finding something wrong with their approval. So just wanted to highlight that, make sure that's different than the others.
All right, is there anyone who wants to discuss that item? We have the Sheriff's Department here, Heather Luther, anyone else? So I guess my only question on this one is, as far as our ordinance goes, can we take the wishes of the owner of the property into consideration? If the person is following the ordinance, does it matter what the owner of the property says?
I won't speak out of line, but yes, it does matter what the owner of the property says. But
is there any? We can take that one up separately if there's any other discussion, or we can roll it into the full motion.
This one's a deny, so this one's a deny. Second motion.
Did you have any further comments on that item?
Nope.
And I guess we'll say it was recommended for denial by Sheriff's Department. I believe
By the
that's-
applicant, correct?
the applicant, yes, and the Sheriff's Department and us both went along with it as well. And there's emails in the thread that explain it all.
All right, if there's any other discussion, or if you'd like to make a motion.
I move to deny the catering permit for the Tower Grill and identified on the agenda and authorize the chair to sign documents on behalf of the board.
All right, I'll second that. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All right, catering permit denied. Moving on to the
Okay, that's weird. So the Tower Grill, I guess they are catering that event. They requested, I would assume, as a catering permit for that specific event. And the landowner, which is Double Tap Range, wanted it denied. And then the sheriff and yeah, so that's a little bit bizarre. Like, I don't know, that's just a bizarre thing. Yeah, I don't have anything else to say about that. It's just I have no idea what's going on. Looks like there were some emails, but it's not worth, I think, looking further. Just something pretty interesting. But yeah, generally guns and alcohol don't mix well. All right. Everything else looks to be approved. So I will go in here and see if he uses the keyword discussion.
is there any? We can take that one up separately if there's any other discussion, or we can roll it into the full motion.
This one's a deny, so this one's a deny. Second motion.
Did you have any further comments
All
on
right,
that?
this was for that one that we just saw. And there's only 5 sections for discussion.
When we asked for something. So this was I think the original group that sort of triggered the discussion about whether or not we should have a policy. And there just sounds like a group of concerned citizens who wants to clean up an area that they like to recreate in.
It would also benefit the community as well. Those areas are high use areas for
Okay,
Now we'll
landfill
take
waiver.
up a landfill fee waiver request. So I'm assuming that because we have now approved the policy, we now have a request that we can evaluate pursuant to that policy.
Mr. Chairman, Commissioner Daly, we do have our first landfill fee waiver request from Pieces Smells Inc. and 4 Low Idaho Off-Road. This is for evening. We have that scheduled for this Saturday, June 1st, and we'll be happening in Ada County territory, I should say. Staff did inquire with the LM to see if we could obtain any support funding. We were not successful in any connection or communication with the BLM agency, So at this point in time, the application is complete. It's before you for consideration today.
That's the feds for you. Hard to get hold of sometimes.
Yes.
Only when they want to be.
Yeah, when we ask for something. So this was I think the original group that sort of triggered the discussion
That's
about whether or
right.
not we should have a policy.
Yes.
And there just sounds like a group of concerned citizens who wants to clean up an area that they like to recreate in.
It would also benefit the community as well. Those areas are high use areas for the community.
All right. Well, it's a shame that it gets trashed there, but glad we have some people who would like to clean that up. Do we have any more discussion on the fee waiver request?
Well, just to thank the community for stepping up to the plate and being willing to do that and then helping us create a process for doing it. Yes. Both of those things, I think.
Yeah.
Yes, indeed. All right. Any other comments? If not, we'll call for a motion.
I move to approve the fee waiver request for Casey's File Team and 4LO Idaho Off-Road Oregon Trail Cleanup as listed on the agenda.
All right. I'll second that. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Fees have been waived.
Okay, that's pretty interesting. Yeah, so landfill fee waiver request granted to Casey Smiles Incorporated and Forlow Idaho Off-Road to Oregon Trail Cleanup. So, great. That's good to know. You can request those kinds of things. And I think that's about it. I'm going to see if there's any nays. If there were any nays, they would have been denied. So I do not see any nays. And that's about it. So have a good one. Bye-bye.